What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So we're talking about the most arcanes per hour in Warframe. Doing this method, you'll be getting tons of new arcane loot boxes for Vosfor. Getting anything from Energize, Arcane Reaper, Secondary Outburst, the list goes on. You can basically get any arcane you want in the game besides the new arcanes if you have enough Vosfor. We'll show you the best way to get it today. Before we get into it though, and go all this stuff, make sure you sub the channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. I'll be live as well on stream right after this video goes up, farming potentially this mission, and if not this mission, I'll be doing some of the new event Gargoyle's Cry, which is also a very good arcane farm for Vosfor. But this one's just better. Once we go over all this stuff, you'll be on the right path to getting up to 80 arcanes in one mission. If I show the loot haul for this mission right here, at the end of this, we really walked away quite nice. So in about an hour and 37 minutes, look at all those arcanes. They are all considered rare arcanes for the purposes of Vosfor Meltdown. If you didn't know this, you haven't heard about the new Whispers in the Wall update. There is a new system where you can take your old arcanes and grind them down into new arcanes. I guess that's the easiest way to say that. So when we were doing this mission, the best arcane farm in the game, Void Cascade Steel Path on Zeraman, 80 arcanes would pretty much equate to probably 4 arcane loot boxes, so that's pretty decent. But yeah, keep in mind, there's some things in this mission you might not have access to, such as, an extremely powerful build on frames like Revenant, or a really extremely powerful Felarx Incarnon shotgun. So keep in mind, this is not meant to be an easy mission right here. It is definitely a gear check. This also isn't required to have good operator gear too. And I'll have advanced Void Cascade guide out in the future, but today we're just reminding you that this mission exists, and it's really, really good for doing this. So, why is this mission the best arcane farm in the game for Vosfor? There's a multitude of reasons. As you can see on the screen right now, if you do this on the Steel Path, there are Acolytes that appear here, and Acolytes have a guaranteed arcane drop of either Merciless, Dexterity, or Deadhead, and those are also some Vosfor right there. But additionally, there is an enemy that spawns here called a Thrax, and that Thrax can drop arcanes. And did you know the drop rate of arcanes from enemies like this are affected by a mod drop booster? The mod drop booster cannot be purchased in the in-game market. It must be obtained through Borrow Katir, his random inventory, or pseudo-random inventory, or you can tactfully get it from a sortie rank up, or a sortie reward for the daily, or a circuit rank up award for the Steel Path circuit. So you have limited options, and also those are only 3 days each. So once you get those 3-day boosters for Mod Booster, you have limited time to use it in a mission like this. So I want to put a couple of those pretense things in there first, guys. It will not be as effective if you're not running in a Mod Booster squad like I always have active. So yeah, if you don't have a Mod Booster active, instead of 80 arcanes in that mission, you might get 40 arcanes in that mission, which is still good. But yeah, technically you could even get less than that too. So as far as what we're trying to do here, we're trying to kill these enemies with the scythes that turn to a ghost as quickly as possible. The way we're doing that, I am going to probably link some build videos down below, but if you watched my Gargoyle's Cry guide from the other day, we're using the exact same amp. That amp and Matador Focus Tree can one-shot a level 10,000 Ghost Thrax. As it can also, pretty much one-shot a Steel Path Void Angel too. Now that we've got that, we need to be able to kill the Thrax in the first place. I'm using the Felarx Incarnon shotgun from Zeraman. I'm using the Tenant Cycron magnetic pistol from Corpus Liches, and I'm not really using melee, but I'm using the Praetos melee from Zeraman for more movement speed. Technically, you don't even need to have guns for this loadout. Revenant can kill these enemies with his abilities, like Reeve and Enthrall and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot easier to use a shotgun to blast these enemies down. So we'll be showing all the builds here. Like I said, I'll link it down below. But yeah, guys, don't forget this exists. This is quite good. And unfortunately, there's a good way you can look at this or a bad way to look at this. It gives you so many arcanes, but here's the problem. A lot of these arcanes are actually good, so I'd feel pretty bad if I deleted them down for Vosfor from doing this. So I'd recommend that you learn which ones are the good ones from this planet if you are planning to farm this. I'll tell you what, Molt Augmented is definitely one of the good ones. So if you get Molt Augmented to drop here, don't delete those for Vosfor. Either save them for yourself so you have a full set, or sell them for platinum to other players. So now that we've talked about this, let's show how you can get access to this mission and some things to keep in mind. Reminder, I said this is more of a beginner's intro reminder this exists. It's not a full detailed guide on the most meta loadouts. Okay, so we are in our ship right now, and we are going to be showing you where Void Cascade goes. So this is going to require you to have some story quests beaten. It is going to require the new war completed as well, but I mean, we're talking Steel Path here anyway, so you shouldn't be too worried about story quests when we're talking about Steel Path. So Going over to the Zeramon, the mission we're looking for is Cascade. So 2 Volcommons is the name of it. A thing to remember here, it will rotate between Grineer enemies and Corpus enemies every like 2.5 hours, I think it is. So I'd usually recommend to go for the Grineer, as they don't technically have nullifiers, although they do have a special enemy called a Tricarian you'll get very annoyed with quickly on this node. You can also go for the Corpus ones. They do have actual nullifiers and other weird enemies too that spawn here, but the Felarx are the same on both factions. So the Felarx will keep spawning, they'll keep dropping Arcanes. You can technically go for the Void Angel too if you wanted to, but yeah, just be aware that, you know, if there's a Void Angel active and there's like multiple Exiles at the same time too, you might be kind of having a hectic situation. But yeah, this mission right here, put on Steel Path. As you can see right here, mod drop chance increased on the Steel Path. Stack that with the Baro Katir mod booster, and you have a lot of extra mod. It's like 200% chance for extra mods, which makes it drop a lot more frequently. So showing how this works, we're gonna, you know, let's just say that we did a Void Cascade. I'm gonna do one on stream tonight. Let's just say I did one already on earlier today. We take those Arcanes that are arguably bad, and we go to the Sanctum Atomica. Sorry. And we're gonna go and we're gonna see if we get anything good. You basically taking all these Arcanes you have duplicates of that you don't even care about. Let's say, like, okay, so some ones that aren't used very much. Emergent Savior, not used very much. Emergence Renewed, not used very much. Pretty much all the Emergence Arcanes you get from this can be safely dissolved down for Vosfor. So we go to the new city here. We go to Arcane Dissolution, and we have our choices of which Arcane we want to get. We're going to show you how to get which Arcanes to turn in here. So basically, search Emergence. I already turned them in, thankfully, so all the Emergence ones are gone. For Molt, these Molt ones are actually good. I would say don't get rid of these. Molt Efficiency, Molt Reconstruct, Molt Vigor, and also Molt Augmented. These are all good Arcanes you should have yourself, guys. Don't delete these. For Fractalized Reset, this one is actually somewhat popular for Eidolon hunts, I believe, so maybe don't delete this one either if you want to use it. But I mean, it's 22 with Vosfor either way. So yeah, a lot of these Arcanes are going to be, you know, not exactly the best. I guess I deleted them all before this, but there are some Arcanes that you could definitely delete for this, such as, you know, the ones that already got deleted, the ones that give you like crit chance when you roll. Let me do unranked. I can show you guys this ones. Show ranked. Okay, cool. So for the Molt ones, all these Molt ones are good, like I said. But for the Cascadia ones, so if you look at all these, I'm gonna show you right now. These Cascadia accuracies, these are junk to me. 462 Vosfor each. I'm gonna take these all and I'm gonna turn these all into Vosfor. So these Arcanes on roll, increase crit chance for headshots. These all come from this mission. So if I turn these in right now, 1300 Vosfor. The Arcane is not very good to me. I don't even want the Arcane for myself to keep. So we do that. We turn in those Arcanes we just got from that mission. You can technically get more Arcanes from that mission right here. They're all right here. But yeah, we can also just go to another planet. Let's see which one we gotta get here. Let's get Deviri Arcane. So turn your old Arcanes into new Arcanes. You can get secondary outbursts, good for Mesa. You can get some ones that you don't want to use, like these ones, like Impact Procs, give you energy. Either way, like you have your choices here, and they will add these new Arcanes from the new update, like around here. I'm assuming in like a month or two. I'm not assuming, they actually told us they would add it in like a month or two. So that's what you can look forward to in the future. And as I said earlier, I will have a bunch of build videos, probably linked in the description if you want to check them out for this type of mission. I would just let you know, it is definitely a gear check. You need to have a good amp, you need to have a good frame and weapons. So yeah, make sure you watch that Revenant video if you want the exact loadout I use. But long story short, oh, by this Cora will be this Cora almost came out today. We'll do that probably tomorrow or on Monday. But for my Revenant build, I usually just run this. It's super straightforward. It's as much casting suit as you can possibly jam on here with shards. Besides Tau, you got Tharo Strike from Cyanax, removing all enemy armor or shields. We'll work on Corpus or Grineer technically. We have a lot of power strength, so that's the idea of the build. Is you just swap weapons and you have a bunch of extra damage. So holster amp here. Thrall Pact gives you increased damage for your shotgun, and Vigorous Swap, when you switch weapons, you do a bunch of extra damage. Also, Mesmer Shield to give your teammates some Mesmer Skin stacks. I do technically have Energize on here. If you have someone with Nourish and Team, you definitely don't need this, but I do have it on here. So yeah, all this stuff is really good, and it works very well at high levels. If I had like maybe one more form on here, I guess I could technically put on the max out version of Cutting Drift, but it has never actually mattered. For the Felarx shotgun, we are going for a viral electric build. This is meant for the enemies to be fully armor stripped when I fire this. I've also got the new mod Atomic Fallout on here because I like it. The idea of this is we're using the Incarnon to auto-reload while we holster with a massive magazine increaser with Atomic Fallout giving increased magazine size and Prime Ammo Stock giving increased magazine size. So we've got Radiation, Electric, and Viral, and a ton of extra damage. So This, I actually have, yeah, I do level 10,000 with this with no Bane mod a lot of the time because Bane mods don't work on Thrax, so just keep that in mind. But if you want to, if you already have a Thrax killing weapon, you can just throw out a Bane mod there instead, just to kill a Thrax. But slower, I guess. I would love to have a Prime Shotgun ammo mutation here, but we have too much mod capacity. I don't want to form this again. Shotgun Vendetta is very good. We got Projectile Speed, Evolved Autoloader, Racking Wrath, and Devastating Attrition, giving massive damage on those Felarx bullets. With the Cycron, it's a magnetic Cycron. I actually have been using this thing a lot recently. It's very nice. It can also, this can kill level 10,000s too, so it's not even like a procer build, really. It's more of this, like, it could technically proc. It's got enough status chance to proc. It's got magnetic, viral, and heat. And we've got viral, like I said, viral 60/60s. So we can proc enough status on the enemies to kill them with heat procs at level 10,000 with our procer. So that's actually good. If you for some reason don't have any Felarx ammo left or whatever, or we just want to kill them with heat procs for some reason, we can use this to kill them with heat procs. So we've got Cascadia Flare for increased damage on heat procs as well. And the Riven is multi-shot fire rate, crit chance, minus impact. If you don't have this, because this is a very good Riven, I'm very happy about that Riven, just go with Lethal Torrent. It's just a worse version of that. As you can see, very similar, just worse. Because that's a God Roll Riven, basically. Moving on to the Praetos. Like I said, this is not really used at all. It's used for movement speed. So, Drifting Grace and Evolved Ascension, giving us massive movement speed, even on Revenant, who's not a very fast frame normally. The build doesn't even matter because it's not used, but here you go. And yeah, it's for anti-Acolytes, I guess. You can also mind control an Acolyte as Revenant. Madurai is needed for this to kill that Thrax in one shot, and Contamination Wave is just good in general, so. As far as the amp, can I even show you the amp in this city? You do want to bring Count Kirby or a Smita for double Steel Essence, but you don't have to. You could bring like a Nautilus or whatever. Another good frame for this is Hydroid. Hydroid's very good for Void Cascade. Like he might even be arguably better than Revenant in some situations. Not every situation, don't worry. All right, so for Operator, the amp I use for this before we call it, and I go stream. I'll see you guys in stream hopefully soon. Thankfully, I looked. Magus Aggress is only used for, so that's for the Korra video in like a day. This is not used for this mission. Put out Magus Melt instead. Magus Melt will give you more amp damage against the Angel. I don't even remember if it works on Thrax or not, but you're going to be dealing so much damage if you have Madurai and all that. You're not going to have to worry about Thrax anyway. But yeah, that's going to be my loadout, guys. I'll have some videos linked down below. Yeah, if you want to get tons and tons of Arcanes, like 80 Arcanes in, what was it, 90 minutes, then this is going to be the place for you. Come stop by the stream if you want someone with a mod booster to run this mission with. That would be me, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon on stream. Alright guys, take it easy. Peace!